I'm very grateful to have your company this morning. I am going to read something for you, and it's also my first day without a mask. So, for those of you that are thinking I'm wearing a mask that's got the shape of my mouth, that this really is my mouth, and you might enjoy, you might need to hear this something on friendship, and we'll add in at the bottom as to why we need to hear this. Your friend is your needs answered. Your friend, your field which you sow with love and reap with thanksgiving. And he is your board and your fireside, where you come to him with your anger and you seek him for peace. And let your best be for your friend, for he must know the ebb of your tide. Let him know its flood also. For what is your friend? For what is your friend that you should seek him with hours to kill? Seek him always with hours to live. For it is his to fill your need, but not your emptiness. And in the sweetness of friendship, let there be laughter and sharing of pleasures. For in the dew of little things the heart finds its morning and is refreshed. So I'm beginning to think post-COVID that we've lost people and we've lost friendships. So I am going to attempt to do two things. One is I want to bring a bit of strategy to the process of the online stuff. I need to do a shout out to my sponsor this morning. So you might not be able to see it clearly, but virtual workspaces can be done where I am now. You could book this back room, close the door, have music playing in the background, and coffee arrive on the hour, on the minute, however you want it. $400 an hour. So you could be creative, lock yourself away, and like Martin Luther. I'm going to end off with a story, and I'm going to say to you that there's a bunch of things that I'm going to avoid. I'm going to avoid chatting about vaccinations. Everything else you'll find, there's a blog post that goes with this blog. So it's Monday, and it's just gone 11, and I should be out of here in 2 minutes. So let me rush through it. I heard of the story. So it's Heritage Month soon. Tomorrow morning will be Heritage Day, or the next day. But every Heritage Day there's an activity. Braai Day would be this thing that everybody does, but deeper than that, these people wanting to reconnect to their roots. So there's some of us who drive back to where our parents were born. Some of us revisit our spaces, and for some of us it's sad spaces because we've lost people and dignity, aspects of ourselves. So I'm told the story of Muhammad Heredin, who traveled to his ancestral grounds with his kids and grandkids, and spent some of the time with a group of people called the Phoenix Group on Jubilee Square in Simonstown. And at some point in time, there was a tugging as his grandkids asked him to show them where he lived. So he took a walk up those steps and started the pilgrimage back to the house that he was born in. it took him a good few minutes to get there because those steps, he was no longer as young as he was when he stood on up there 3 times in 1 hour. He finally got to the house, and it was quite emotional for him to revisit this place now for the first time with his family. And they gathered, stood close to each other as he whispered some information about the house to him, the garden, the loquat tree, the hidings that he got, and the room that he was born in. And while he was in the middle of his story, as if another story was starting, the garage door slowly opened, and suddenly somebody appeared, and it was the words that was said by this woman who had no connection to his story. On the open market, she had bought this house. She had spent a lot of money for this view. Her words to this family was, "Do you mind moving along? My husband wants to get the car out of the garage." So Muhammad had to move his family off to the side and eventually off the story because somebody else had bought the house and moved in. So the concept is called Waghabiki. And if you go walking in the Northern Cape or any of these semi-arid regions, you come across the Waghabiki tree, which is a thorn tree. I would imagine it to be acacia family. And the Waghabiki has got 2 hooks. And if you don't know that you're caught, you'll quickly feel the tugging. And once one of the hooks catches you, there's only one option, and that is to move back slowly and undo the hook, and then move forward. So the Waghabiki project seeks to do this in our collective consciousness. We need to move back to honor some people, to tell some stories before we can move forward. I would encourage you to read the blog post, and I would encourage you to stay tuned as we tell more stories. Have a good Monday.